Now sit back and relax. 5-minute chess. That's the way to play. Next one is 2161 from Libya. It's probably Mahmoud. It's probably Barawi. It's probably the great Barawi. Probably the great Barawi. Barawi. Da 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 dee da da da. Da 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 dee 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 dee. Oh, I forgot about my clock. Me eggs. I can hear my boiled eggs boiling. I can hear my boiled eggs boiling. That was a good manoeuvre. No trips the coin. Coming straight. Check these options. How did I win that? Good morning, ladies. How you going, buddy? Oh, thank you. I'm going to play snooker later. Barawi's coming in this morning. I've got to go and pick him up at 10:30. So I thought, well, I'll just stream for a while and just have a little gander at what's going on here. I'll pin the horsey. Always good to pin a horsey. Levis. Yeah, I just pin a horsey. Pinning his horsey. Put my knife in there, but you might check. You might give me a check. Try to upset me or something. This is a quick way of doing it. This is not too bad. I'm very happy with this position. I'm slowing down his attack and at the same time speeding up mine. So I like this. He should play b3. Now I'll take his damn pawn off. That'll teach him not to play b3. Now I can put my knight in there. That's a really important move. Oh, I should have put my bishop in there. It was even stronger. Oh, then I would have had the towering knight game. Oh no, that's good. I'm happy with that. I got the classic breakthrough. This is all very classical. You've got to check. So I go in the corner. And now I'm just threatening pawn takes pawn. A rook takes. That's good. Only trouble is my rooks need to be doubled. So I'm going to go over here and threaten his F pawn. I might get a checkmate too if I'm really lucky. Yeah, so a weak move would be Queen E6, and then I'd just play Rook hits Rook. Rook to Rook, what's his name? Rook to Rook 4. Rook to H5, yeah. And then it's all over. And then he Red Rover, he'd be cooked. His goose would be being cooked then. He can't penetrate my position. He's thinking about it. He doesn't like it. He's not happy. He's not a happy Vegemite. Happy little Vegemite as bright can be. We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch and tea because we love our Vegemites. We love our Vegemites. We adore our Vegemites for breakfast, lunch and tea. Da, 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 da. Well, I've got a pawn there. Is it that bad to pinch a pawn? Is it that bad to pinch a pawn? I can't see how it can be too bad to pinch a pawn, especially if it's extra. Oh, look at that. I can play row, bishop. I can play row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Notice I moved my bishop onto a key square. What's the key square, Lavis? What's the key square? H2. I've got some piling up to do on H2. We've got piling up to do on H2. Uh-oh, he says. I'm in for an attack. Here he comes. Checkmate, sir. Next match. Jade Alexandra. How you going, gorgeous? How you going, you gorgeous woman? And how's life today? You're in Florida or something, aren't you? You're in Florida? Somewhere there? No? What makes me think that Jade's in Florida? I don't know. Put my bishop here. Don't like to weaken my pawns. There we go. Just take that and castle. I'm using a different technique against FIDE Master Hercog. Hercog? Hercog. I just got to attack his knight and take it off. I don't like it. So he's 23-36 and he's a good player. So we'll just put our rooks behind our pass pawns. We'll have no weaknesses here today. No weaknesses on my watch, young man. There's a pawn move, a way-in move. Now what are you going to do, young fella? Okay, so you want to do silly things? You can do silly things. And I can see your queen's on a good square. No problems. No problem. Hey, watch that one. I can't see how you're going to win this one, though. I can't see how you're going to win this game. This will be very difficult. I've got the queenside majority, Jade. I've got the queenside majority, and his bishop is biting on granite there. And so because his bishop's not doing anything, I can just play g3. I can open up my back rank. And I can put my pawns on good squares. I think I can. Play queen. I'd like to play queen up. There's a few moves I'd like to play, but I can't play all of them, unfortunately. I'll play king up. I'll play h4, h5. Okay. Now, I'd like to do something else, but I can't do it. I can't do it because he's on that rotten pawn. Doesn't matter what I do, he's on that pawn. So I'll take that rook off. And I'll play rook e1. Go back. I want him to overreach himself somehow. He's not overreaching himself. If anything, he's making life difficult for me. I've got a new plan, Jade. I've got a new plan. Rook to c2 and then rook to d2. Just like R2, D2, you know, like in Star Wars. So I play rook to d2, then I play rook to c2, then I play rook to d2, like R2, D2 in Star Wars. Now his queen's sort of out of the game for a while, and I can just sit back and play a waiting game or something. So I move my queen over here, my rook over here. And now everything is all right. It's going to take a long time. Oh, bye-bye, Jade. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, young Jade. Mavis is going to McDonald's. Hey, McDonald's, bro. He couldn't wait. I just got a draw against 23-33, a FIDE master called Hercog from somewhere. Which is a good result. I'm playing Bogart 69, 1383. And Bogart is from France. So while it's going backwards, I thought I'll go forwards. So if white continues to go backwards, I'll continue to go forwards. I'll be back. So I've got a nice little centre. Take with the queen. I can take that. Push a pawn. That looks all right. Position's a bit closed at the moment, so that's all good. Just trying to build up a pawn storm here. It's coming. Oh, I should play. Should have taken that one. Fuck. Fuck, I should push that. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, bad language. Yes, you caught me. What did I say? What did I say? Did I say the S word, did I? What word did I say? I don't even remember. I'll have to videotape the language and check it out. Number 145 of 1,403. And I'm trying to improve my game. I've been watching Jade Alexandra's old games and trying to be motivated by them. I've been studying her form. I mean that in a nice way. Now, here we go. Play this one. I've been watching the old Jade Alexandra, the young Jade Alexandra do her thing, and I'm trying to be inspired by her magnificence. Here we go. I found a good square, knight e4. So we're attacking that c5 square. See the pawn on c5? This one here, I'm flashing it. That one there. Yeah, and I've got the d6 square. I'm flashing the d6 square. It's a good occupation. And the f6 square. So these are little holes that I might be able to occupy to drive my crazy bananas. My opponent crazy like the bananas. Right, that's it. But I don't know how to do it just yet. Oh, there's a pawn there. Gave me the pawn. I'll take that. It's nice. Sergey Sergeyev is from Ukraine, and he's still suffering from the war because he's not playing well. Okay, so here we go. We'll just improve our position with bishop d3. You could pin the knight, but he wants to play b4. So what we'll do is we'll power up on that square. So we're just preventing the move b4, and at the same time probably threatening a5, so that we can gain a pawn storm again. I don't know that that's as effective as knight to g5, knight to e4, and sticking a knight, boom, down his throat. Right? Now we're threatening bishop takes knight, boom, right? Now he might not see this coming. He might not see this one coming. After all, it's a sneaky move, and there's a lot of complications. But all roads seem to favour the white bits. Even knight f5, g4, g5 threatens like a mating attack of some sort. So Sergey Sergeyev is on the brink of disaster, of a crisis. Oh, he wants to take everything off. Sergey. Well, we'll just play rook to... We can play b3, but that's a weakening move. We'll play rook to b1. Rook to b1. Or no, actually stronger is queen to e2. So when you find a good move, always look for a better one. Now, queen to e2 prevents b4, but it does threaten bishop g5. And the queen also holds the rank, the b2 pawn, the linchpin pawn. So now we have that little checkmating idea of knight to f6 check and doing nasty things to him and making him cry. So we'll put the bishop down his throat. That's a start. Right down in his throat there. Down there is saying, hello boys and girls, watch out for that one. Big question is, can he play d5? He doesn't even consider it. So we'll take with a knight with check. That's always a good move. Now the beautiful thing about taking with a knight with check is that we've got checkmates coming in, I think. Can we open him up with... we've got bishop there. We can just improve the position and pin his rook against his queen. He wouldn't like that. Then we'll play h4, ignore the rook. He wants us to take that, take the pressure off him, but we won't take the pressure off. We'll just continue to attack. Okay. Now, in this position, we could try more attack. More attack. More attack is always good. You see, that's it. He wants to get out of the mess, the unholy mess that he's in, but he doesn't know how to get out. He can't see a way. And we're not here to help him either. We're not here to help him, folks. We want to get in there and get that king. We can take that pawn off. That's a good idea. And then if we play pawn b3, we can take that one off. Where's his knight go? Oh, he's taking a pawn. He's frustrated. Now I can play very important move here. Knight takes pawn. And that attacks his queen and his two castles. So we're threatening his queen and his two castles. So we've got a whoop. Now we're taking that off. He's running short of time and he's just lost the castle. And he resigned. Next match. Good, it's the Peacemaker. Good morning, Peacemaker. I'm just streaming early this morning. It's an early Saturday morning at 8:23 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Peacemaker. He said, I only heard the word S word as I arrived. I said, my boy John is in a serious battle. I was actually lost, I believe, in that game. And I haven't lost a game so far, so I'm doing all right. Number 118 of 1,490 players. I've got 11 points, it says, whatever that means. So I'm just trying to improve my position. I'll push that pawn. Now this is a strange position. We'll support that pawn there. We can play bishop to knight to c3. We'll get the pieces working. Now he wants to occupy that square there, so we'll play rook here, and we won't let him occupy it. He's actually played knight a6 to play knight b4, but we're going to occupy the b4 square before he even gets there. Now that makes his knight, the Springer Umberanda Bring Shunda, puts his knight in a very precarious position. Okay, so now we know his knight's in a precarious position. So how do we take advantage of it though? Okay, so we play b4. His knight's in a funny position, but we're powering up against the queen side. Now he retreats his knight, so we attack his knight. So when he retreats, we attack, and that's how we play our chess. Now we could take his knight, and he's got double pawns. But we're going to ask ourselves, what would we achieve from taking his knight? So why don't we just double rooks and threaten knight takes knight, wins the game with... right, now what we've achieved is after knight takes knight, he must take with the c pawn, correct. And now what we've got to do is play rook here. I think that's a square. Rook there. Yeah. And now we're threatening c6. He saw that coming. We were threatening c6. We can penetrate his position. That might cause him a bit of worry. Always like to worry him a little bit. We don't want to play too many artificial moves. That's an artificial move. We'll play e3. That's a solid move. Oh, he wants to get rid of that bishop. Well, that's good. That actually helps me. Right, and now I can play knight. That's where my knight belongs. That's where my knight belongs. Have a look at what I've always told you in previous games. I've always said, and I've been consistent, that in these types of positions, all these types of positions, right, what have I always told you? I've always, without fail, told you that the pawns, when you've got a white bishop, a white squared bishop, always put your pawns on the opposite colour. Now, you'd say, well, where's the breakthrough? You give him a pawn here, right? And then you tear down the A file. Now, have a look at this. And now we've got perfect endgame position. No structural weaknesses, none whatsoever. Now I've got bishop here first, to stop his bishop linking up on D3. And now we're threatening, yes, we are threatening rook C1 wins. So there you go, we're threatening rook C1 wins. A good preventative move. There are some checkmate, counter checkmate chances in these positions. Now rook C1 doesn't win. It does look like it might win. Okay, now I've got rook takes pawn. But better still, I've got bishop takes pawn. Look at that one. I've got bishop takes pawn, right? This is all because I've got the good bishop and he's got the bad bishop, right? Okay, so now we can see all that, can't we, very clearly? Okay, so now we just play rook takes pawn. This is very simple. It's like, what do you say, shooting ducks in the park, or something like that. So now, do we take with the rook or do we take with the bishop? I think we should probably take with the, if we take with the bishop, we can lose. So rook takes rook. And now he wants to do that. So we play bishop here, so we can get a rook check. Because a rook check would be really advantageous for us. Because that's checkmate. A rook check would be checkmate. Okay? Okay. So now we can play rook here. Now, you might think, well, why didn't he check? Why didn't he play rook check? Well, the reason being, if you find a good move, look for a better one. Okay. Now what we can do is we can just cut his bishop off. We connect all our pieces. There's no way for him to get around. So now if I can get my king and transfer my king to the other side of the board, say king E1, D1, along this diagonal, right? If I can move my king along there, I just win. So nothing to look at, okay? King wants to go down there, okay. That's the plan. It's a very simple plan. It's connecting. I'm actually threatening this move now. See the little pawn move? What would he do against that one? It traps the bishop, so we'll do that. Notice how ineffective his rook is. And we just won, okay? And we move to number 64th position of 1,575 players. Oh, g'day, Joe Alexander. You go to work now. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye, darling. The peacemaker. The peacemaker. How is the peacemaker today?
Hey, me smoking peace pipe, Kimosabi.
Now, he wants to take that, and he's serious. He wants to take it, so I'm moving it. I'm going to move it away. I'll go there. And I'll go here. I'll just bring in some reserves. We're all playing the knight manoeuvres. The knight manoeuvres. We're doing little hoppity horsey movies. Little hoppity horsey movies. Little hoppity horsey movies. Okay, we'll get our bishop working because we've got a castle just like he has. So we won't do anything ridiculous. We'll just get our pieces out. If I take the knight with check, if he takes with the knight, then he's pinned. If he takes with the queen, I can belt him one. I'll take it off and belt him. Okay, so now I can play d5. And that move kills his bishop. Look at these white pawns. He's trying to attack my white pawn structure, and I just keep pushing more white pawns. He just managed to almost trap his queen there, so we'll just attack it. And we'll take one of the pawns. Yeah, okay, so I'd love to hold those pawns. This is dangerous. I think this is okay, actually, because I get my king running, and I get a tempo, and at the same time, the king side's solid, and I've got a pass pawn. It's protected. So I'm going to continue to play with aplomb and dexterity. And his queen's out of play, which is really good. I'm happy his queen's out of play. It'd be very dangerous if his queen was active. If I could just play queen d7 and rook to d1 and things like that, it'd be great. Because he can't move anything. He just helps me. He's helping. He doesn't understand that his position's so cramped, there's nothing he can do. Oh, hold on, that wasn't smart. Oh, that was not a smart move. I'm lucky I've got that move. Gee whiz, otherwise I'd be in shit, wouldn't I? This is unbelievable. He can win my queen here. Oh, what a silly game. He can win my queen. Oh, this is dangerous now. How the game turns. I pinched a pawn that shouldn't be pinched. He could have won my queen. Now he's on my bishop. But now when he moves my bishop, I can play bishop here. Right? And I think I'm okay. Now he's threatening what? What's he threatening? Is he threatening anything? So I've got to ask myself. He's got a knight check there. I can take that rook. But my bishop's usually very good in these positions. I'll push the pawn and I'm attacking two castles at the same time. I need to get my pieces out here. He's got a check. Hold on a second. That's a good check. I can put the bishop here. What's he got then? At least I'm on his queen. A knight check. I take his knight. Oh, he takes with check. Oh no. I mean, I can play bishop takes rook. Threatening a queen. Oh, what a complicated game. He played the wrong move. He played the wrong move. He should have played rook checks. Rook e6 check and he would have won. Well, I could take that and put the bishop in. He's got to check. I hit his bishop. His problem is I've got a queen down there. That's his problem. He's got 25 seconds and I've got a queen down there. Pawn equals queen check. And he's got a problem to solve and he doesn't know what to do. And he's running short of time. I'm still threatening a queen with check. I want to stay on his bishop. Because if I stay on his bishop, I'm still threatening a queen with check. And how does he stop it? And he resigned. Ah, that was good, wasn't it? Okay, so number 61 of 1,719 players. What a game. Yeah, Levis. Honestly, that was a game worth watching, wasn't it? That was really something. I should really write that down. Who was that? I wish I could find out. So, a game before Ruby. Okay, so it's the game before Ruby. What I might do is I could even make a video out of that game. My God, that was a hairy game. I could feel the pressure on my chest, really. I'm not joking. I could feel the pressure from that game. It was the pressure because I blundered. I had him all wrapped up and I let him out. You know that saying where they say, Levis, they say, letting the cat out of the bag? Well, that's what I did. And he came out scratching, didn't he? Oh, God. Nothing worse than a defensive cat fighting for its life. You know, like, oh, God. Shades of the big cats in Africa. Oh, they don't go like that. They go, my favourite is the jaguar. The jaguar sound goes, wow. That's how the jaguar goes. It goes like that. I like the old Jaguar. He's got the best growl. Lions have just got a big roar. I imagine it must be deafening, so scary to the other little animals. All the little animals would be so scared. So I attack that one. Now, what's he going to do? He can play queen to rook 4 and attack my bishop. Come on. I'm suggesting some moves from my opponent. I suggest he plays queen to a4 and attacks the bishop. No, he leaves the bishop there. Oh no, he's 1076, Ruby from Norway. So now I understand what Ruby's going through. I'll take with the pawn. It's okay, I'm not worried about that. Okay, Ruby. He's not even playing queen to b7. You should at least play queen to b7. Now there's no threats. You can't win if you don't threaten me, Ruby. I'll castle. Poor old Ruby, he's not even threatening me. I don't think he knows what to do. He's lost for a plan, young Ruby.
Oh, when Ruby comes to town.
So I just play knight there. Tell Ruby to go backwards. Go backwards, Ruby. Go backwards. Ruby, go backwards. Ruby, go backwards. Okay. He's actually thinking now. Ruby's actually thinking. Ruby from Norway. Most of the players I play from Norway, they got a good idea of the game. They're a smart lot, those characters from Norway. Oh, it was Matori 83. Oh, good, I'll write that down. Thank you for that. Matori 83. Where did I write down Ruby? I don't know. I even forgot where I put that. Matori 83. Right, I got it down now. He's gone back. I'll go forwards. E5. We're moving on up. We're moving on round. Okay, come on. We'll take that. Every time you give us something, we'll take it. And we'll take that. We hit the queen, but more importantly, we're hitting the knight, because that's what it's all about. That's the way we go. That's the way the little cookie crumbles. Now he wants to checkmate me. So what do we do? Well, stopping it's a good idea, isn't it? Well, there's no threats really. I'll play knight here. F5 is somewhat of a threat. Yeah, good move, Australia. So now I've got to put my bishop there. Oh, he's trying to. I'll put my bishop on the diagonal, so that there's no checkmates or anything. Oh. I've made hard work of what is really a simple game. Right? I've made hard work of what is really a simple game. Chess is a simple game. I don't even need my rook because I've got an extra piece, right? So just go here. I just let him have my rook. I'm not really worried about it. Go away, go away, go away. You can have the rook. It's okay, because now I can play rook takes rook. And then we'll get a rook off and then we just win. We'll march our 2 pawns, our C pawn and our D pawn through for a queen. I love all this technical stuff. Good move. How come he suddenly plays like a grandmaster? I don't know. Does anyone know how my opponent just suddenly starts playing like a grandmaster? I'll take that rook off. And then we're okay, aren't we? Right? We'll take that rook. And we'll put the queen here and stop the check. Now once all the checks are stopped, it's all over. Because I've got the queen, the bishop and the knight. Oh, that's just an artificial move. So I'll pin the rook. You can't play rook check because I'll take with the knight. So now he's got to change queens. There we go. It's the little cheap shot. Doesn't work. And that's the next match. Okay, so now who's next? 43 of 1,800 players. This could be one of my best results ever. So C5. If I stay consistent, this could be one of the best results I've ever had. I'm playing Mr. Mortimer, 1854 from Canada. There was a football player in Sydney, and they were called the Mortimer brothers. They were really great footballers. I don't think that would help him with his chess, though. But he's from Canada, so I know he's not related to the Mortimers. So I just get my knights working and on logical squares to prevent e5. Okay. And I'll just distract him over there. Cut his bishop off. The old cut the bishop off trick. Okay, now that we've done that, we'll play rook c8, and we can get some counterplay on the c file. We can play queen checks even here. Yeah, we just check him. We give him nothing, take him nowhere, and rook c7. What I really want to do is, he's not doing anything there. I see what he wants to do. We can play d5 now, I think. We've got a weak pawn. We could take that knight. Take the knight. If he takes with the pawn, it's all right. If he takes with the rook, I've got serious problems, but I will overcome them all with my brilliance. Okay, so in a minute we're going to overcome all our problems. We're going to play pawn takes pawn. Problem 1, overcome. Now we've killed his bishop. His bishop is dead in the water. Now his only threat is that move, so we'll play e5. And now you can see what we've effectively done is we've shut his bishop out of the game, and we're powering on down the open file. So it's going to take him that long to get his bishop out of the game. And meanwhile, he's just putting rooks on logical squares and stuff, but it doesn't help him. It does not help him. So we just take that with the bishop, that's all right. It's not a problem. And now we'll just play rook to the 7th rank. We'll start attacking. There you go. He wants to change pieces. We can take that. Take that. Come in here. Oh, he's got a check. He takes a check. But what he forgets is my king is indestructible. I just play king f8 and king e7, and there's no attacks. and his B pawn's attacked. There's checkmates coming with queen takes e4. So I'm now threatening a checkmating attack. His bishop can't go to bishop b1. So his bishop's locked in for the whole game. And now I'm threatening his f pawn, and he can't save it. So, and still his bishop can't come out. Next match. Number 23 of 1,849. And we're on track to win this tournament, folks. We're on track to win. So knight f3. We're just going to play solid. We're playing Flaviano Brazil from Brazil. Oh, what a good name. Now, his name is actually Flaviano Brasil from Brazil. Yeah, so he's a Brasil from Brazil. That's Brasil. Play h3. It's a bit of a slow move for this type of position. I'll play here because this is a good idea. If he wants to play h6, I can go back to e3. Now I can play just simply queen to d2. I thought b5 was good for him. He played it. You see, that's a problem when they start playing good moves. I'm going to go down there too. So I could take the knight. And now we've got a position where he's on my knight, but I've got a good bishop. I'll just play there, solid game, and now I've just got a good solid position. Sometimes it's hard to work out, you know, like how did this guy get a rating of 1483 when he's played as well as this? I'm looking at queen to a3 and bishop to f4 as possibilities because I want to think on his time. I'll play the bishop f4 move. It's a good move. It pins his bishop, his d pawn. That pin is just a niggly little move. It's niggly. One would expect him to play if he's a real beginner, he should play like f5 or something, which is not very good. But he doesn't. He plays a better move. I can play queen to a3 and threaten his d pawn. Right, so all that is, what that does is that just distracts him for a moment. Well, my real aim is to get rid of that filthy bishop on f5. That's okay. And now if I can just somehow play a move like knight d2. Knight d2 is not too bad. The whole idea is I want to play bishop hits bishop. If I play bishop, he's playing like engine type moves now. He wants to hit my queen. So I can play knight e4. I'm threatening knight takes pawn check. So if he's a real beginner, he'll play d5. Right? But he's not a real beginner, you see. So now I can play bishop takes pawn. So I've busted him now. Now he's busted on the white squares. I'm just simply threatening bishop takes bishop. Oh, he did have a good move, f5, but now I'll take the bishop. That stops f5. Oh, I'll take the queen. He's dead as a doornail. And knight here. Now, if he plays bishop takes a pawn, he loses his bishop. Well, he knows that. He's not silly. because he's played some of his other moves very well. But his bishop's in trouble anyway because it's going to suffer from C4 syndrome in a minute. You know, this position, I think rook hits rook is actually good. Because I'm on the knight, that's right. Yeah, I can take with the rook. And now I get the open file. Okay, so he doubles the pawns. But remember what I said about these pawns. I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again. And that is his pawns are on the wrong colour squares. I've got my pawns in the wrong colour squares, okay, but I'm threatening rook e7, and I've got an active rook. Remember, at the same time, I'm threatening c4 to dislodge his c pawn. He's just dropping pawns now because his position's untenable. He wants to get in the back with the rook down, but I just blocked him off. So now all I need to do to absolutely punish him is to take his c-pawn. And his c-pawn's the next target, right? So I'm going to play rook here with the idea of taking his c-pawn. He might try king f6, but it doesn't work. King f6, c4. No. I can play that straight away. I'll play pawn here straight away first. Okay, so he's played a little distraction move. He's not a bad little player, Flaviano Basso. So now I hit his bishop. Now he'll probably play king up. Then I'll play king c3. Now I'm threatening f4 check. It's a smasher. It really smashes him because now my pawns are on the right side. Then I can pin his bishop, threatening his pawn. Now not after his pawn. I really want to seal in his king. That's my real plan. So it looks like that the other move was my plan. But this way, there's no way he can attack any of my pawns in my position. They're all impervious to attack. So now all I need to do is play bishop e2. He wants to get a pass pawn. Good call. But I'll just take there. That's not a problem. Now I've got bishop here, and I'm threatening the what's his name pawn. Now I threaten the h pawn over there. At the same time, I can still just push my queenside pawns. I've got no intention of taking his h pawn anyway. I don't want to give him any counterplay. I want my 4 pawns, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the queen side to just monster him. Okay, so now I can just play bishop takes pawn. Okay, has he got counterplay? No. So we'll take that. And now we're just threatening rook takes bishop. And then I've got 4 passed pawns. 4, not 1, not 2, not 3. We've got 4 passed pawns. I didn't play the best move there, but it doesn't matter so much because the passed pawns must be pushed. Okay, so I'll go forwards. I'm happy. I'll go forwards again. I'm happy. I go forwards again. I'm very happy. And now he's got all these problems. Look at all the queens I've got ready to march through. There's nothing he can do to stop this onslaught of 4 passed pawns. And all we did was just play logical chess. We trapped him in the centre and we locked him off and blocked him off. John, do I watch football? Yeah, occasionally I watch football. Here's Johnny. It's Stevie Harvey Price. G'day, Stevie Harvey Price. Welcome to our channel. He's just losing on time. It's being a bit of a bad sport, I think, unless he's trying to actually work out what he could do. But there's nothing to do. I mean, really, just losing on time. It's just a little bit of a bad sport. He's probably upset. But he actually played well. He should be very proud of himself because he put up a really good effort for a 1480 player. He could be very proud of himself. Flaviano, well played, buddy. Because he actually found really good, challenging counterplay moves. He always found the right counterplay moves. He didn't understand some of the stronger positional ideas in the middle game, and that's why he suffered so badly. It's the same as me. I mean, I was playing the women's FIDE Master Carla the other day, yesterday, and I did the video on her, and yeah, she's been well trained to play good chess. I'm playing Garzo 90. Garzo 90. I'm just attacking his black squares, and we're just trying to get some play here. We'll take that. And now he could have played c4, and he didn't play his c4 move when he could have. You just can't let that. You can't just ignore those things. These are the sort of things that are required, if we can put it that way, in chess. When you've got opportunities to play moves, you've got to play them. Play them like they're playable. Like, for instance, here, E6 is probably good. E6 or F5, E6. I really want to cause my opponent trouble. I don't want the F5 move is strong. I want to make sure that I bust everything wide open. And I just tear open in the position. This is what I want to do. Right? Okay, so now my opponent allows me to play pawn takes pawn. Not a good idea. And now I'm going to play knight, get another knight working. I've got a plan. My plan is simply knight d6. See how threatening my knight? I can play f5. I don't like f5. Oh. It's causing me a little bit of trouble, this guy. Rook e8. I've got to get my pieces working. I want to play knight e5. There are too many holes there. Queen c7. I didn't like queen c7 too much. I want to play rook e7. That's my real move. After bishop takes knight, I just play rook takes rook check. I'll be happy with that. Okay, so now I can double rooks. I could take the knight. I go there. That knight at c6 is awful. I hate that knight. So all I'm doing is I'm just trying to nullify that knight on c6. Right. He let me play it. Let me get what I wanted. Now, if I can just, I'm just thinking, if I can just do this, because that's what you do in these kind of positions. You want to just do this. Yeah, so all I want to do is I just want to get my pieces working now on good squares and try to get some counterplay somehow. Right. So I want to play rook to rook 1 and knight checks. So I'm moving my pieces around to the other side of the board now. Yeah, number 17 of 2,072 players. So I'm right on track. And we've had some very nice guests in here this morning. We've had Steve Harvey Price, we've had the Peacemaker, Lavis, and Jade Alexandra. And perhaps a few viewers that haven't identified themselves have just dropped into the channel to witness this pretty good performance. We're coming 17th of 2,075 players. Trouble is we're running short of time to win the tournament. It's a problem. So we'll just proceed to 1138. We're playing Lev Volosnev. He's 1138 and he's from Russia. Lev is from Russia. So we just castle and take a pawn off. The trouble with Lev's position is that Lev's knight is faulty. He's got a faulty knight. The knight on d5 is a faulty piece, if we could call it. It's like a Basil faulty. Position screaming for d5. Position screaming for that move. Position screaming for d6. But I'm not sure about it. Bishop g5, bishop g4 looks, bishop g5 looks great. Threatens d6. And the position's screaming for d6. But we'll just get another piece out. We're not going to do anything ridiculous here. Rook e1. Just pour on the pressure, because the positional pressure is insurmountable. We know that this guy's going to collapse. It's just a matter of when and how he will collapse. Okay, so playing h4 with the idea of h5. Our plan is to dislodge this knight here, which has got limited squares. Push a pawn on that h file, make his king weak. D6 looks like it's opens up the knight. Knight to e4 would have won the game. We missed a winning move, but we'll do it now because it's never too late to play a winning move. Now we're threatening knight checks. We're threatening pawn takes pawn. We're threatening knight takes bishop. We're threatening bishop to f6. We're threatening so many threats that our opponent must collapse, right? Must collapse. So we'll take the pawn off. Because simply put, the knight is Kaputski. Simply put, the knight is Kaputski. I mean, this is terrible analysis, isn't it? Simply put, the knight is Kaputski. I mean, that's ridiculous stuff, isn't it? I mean, oh, well. But poor old Lev Volosnev, he's only 1138 from Russia. He's probably just come into this tournament, and I'm running out of opponents, being number 17 of 2,075 and having won so many games. He's in deep trouble, to say the least. Poor old Lev. He's looking at the position and he knows that trouble follows, but he can't see a way out. So we just check him with the horse. We really want him to resign so that we got time for another game. And then we'll just take his queen. Take his queen. And then we'll give him we'll pinch his pawn, because that threatens bishop checks, checkmate. And now there's the checkmate there. Okay. Thank you, Lev. Next game. But he'll learn from that. He'll learn. He'll get smashed up, and if he's a fighter, he'll come back. He'll come back stronger than ever. So be wary of young Lev, because he'll come back. Stanislavski, that's a hard one to pronounce. Slavkovsky or something. It looks like a Polish name, but he's an international. Got a picture of like a pretty woman there or something. I'll play knight b file to d7. This guy's 1956, so got to respect this guy. He knows how to play chess. Can't play weak moves against these characters. They'll bite you on the bum if you play weak moves. Okay. So threatening his, what's his name, we'll chop off his rook. Chop that off. We'll chop that off because we want the black squares. We're happy to take that off. Yeah, so now we've got the black squares, which is what we've always wanted. So we're attacking his knight. He can't castle, and we're attacking his knight. Now, this is really critical stuff because he's got problems. He can't castle, and he's got serious problems here. So, but he played well. He's played so well so far. And now he's thinking, he knows he's got real serious problems. See, I've got the check, and I've got a good structure. Take that one. And we'll give him a check. Oh, he's got that one, has he? Give him a check over there too, but it doesn't help much. We'll play bishop there because he can't really do much with his pieces. His king is skewered in the middle. So our bishop move activates our bishop from a dead position to a live position. For instance, rook to f1, bishop checks or queen checks. And now bishop checks, I think. Queen checks doesn't work. Oh, it does actually. I wonder what the best move is. Bishop checks looks the best. Because we've got the rook. An exchange should be plenty. He hasn't got any attack. His best hope would be like a perpetual check of some sort. It's interesting, isn't it? Rook f6. And just simply threatening queen takes pawn. It's not easy for him. That's mate. Next match. Number 8 of 2,211 players. I think we've just got enough time to really get a great position in this tournament. You see the leader is played many games. D6. Playing Dario 14. Dario is from Argentina. And Dario's 1,462 rating. And Dario's taking up the challenge this morning of playing in chess.com's tournament. And Dario probably acquitting himself very, very well. He wants to change pieces. Well, what we'll do with Dario is we'll take his bishop. And we'll threaten his B pawn. It just gives me the B pawn. Oh, it's a big call, Dario. A big call just to give away a D pawn like that. Okay, well, we'll now go over here and threaten the knight. It's 2 threats in a row. Right. Now we can go over here and offer the exchange. We can offer to exchange the pieces. Prime knight here, but I'm not sure about that. It's probably better off to just get the bishop on E6 or E6. Yeah, I've got to try to get my pieces working because I need to double rooks. I've got to get in there and double rooks, right? There's no doubt about that. I've got to double the rooks and put the pressure to come in. Dario wants to smash my king, and no doubt I want to hit Dario's queen, see where Dario goes. This is dangerous. I just realised how dangerous this position is. I can move my bishop back. Dario can pinch a pawn. Is Dario winning this position now? I'll go here, try to change pieces with Dario. I've lost a pawn. No, I haven't. I've saved it. Oh my God, Dario, you were winning, buddy. And then you just went astray. So this is what you do in these positions. You try to get some active play. Okay. Go away. Don't touch my pawns. So now threatening checkmate. Now that checkmate, Dario's in a bind here. I've got 1 minute and 50, and there's the checkmate. That's it. And that was a good way to finish the tournament. It's only 1 minute and 52. We came 6th of 2,259 players. Okay, that's a good result. 6th of 2,259. Okay, well that's not a bad stream. Listen, thank you all for coming in. Thank you to Cafe Solos. Thank you, Steve Harvey Price. Yeah, so we came 6th of 2,259 players. With that, I'm going to end this stream, but what I'm going to do is I'll come straight back on because I want to save this stream. I don't have to split it. So I'll be back in 1 second, right? So it'll go off, but I'll be straight back. So you have to come back into the chat.